know what I'm saying? Because they're so adaptable. Like wherever they're at, they adapt. Like you might have a SC dom that's like homeless, or you might have an SC dom that adapted to being a top celebrity in the world. What up, y'all? I thought I'd make a few videos real quick while it's on my mind. Because I feel like I forget when I come with good topics. I try to come do them right away. So also below, make sure y'all check out. Um, Make sure y'all go subscribe to my personal channel. I haven't uploaded yet, but stay tuned for that. I think I'm gonna go the route of talking about haters and like jealous people and people that are dealing with that because it is very helpful. And I feel like I would be very helpful for a lot of people because I've dealt with a lot of jealousy and haters myself throughout my life. Um, because I'm a multi-talented kind of person. Um, I have a lot of good qualities and things like that. So I did bring a lot of hate my way throughout my lifetime. So I think that would be helpful. Also, make sure y'all go check out the link below to set up a free consultation with me. I'm an online fitness coach. I can help you get results. I have 15 years of workout, plus years of workout experience. So there's a lot of knowledge that come with that. Make sure y'all book a free consultation with me. Anyways, let's get to the topic. I want to talk about some extroverted sensing. If y'all was interested in learning some more about extroverted sensing, I think I know a good amount about it. Um, I think it's very easy for me to talk about it because it's my second function. I feel like your second function is easier for you to talk about than your first function because your first function is so natural for you that it's hard to even put into words. You just doing it without thinking. Your second function, very natural to you, but you did have to. It did take a little bit of learning, um, a little bit. So when you have to go through the process of learning something, I feel like you're better at explaining it. Um, so talking about SC, one thing about SC users, SC DOMs, I say, I told you that SC DOMs, they can be some of the most talented people and things like that, naturally gifted and talented. But there's downsides, right? SC users are extroverted sensing is very momentum based. It's a lot has a lot to do with momentum. Even though it doesn't look like it, it's very much a lot has a lot to do with momentum. So when the extroverted sensor has momentum, they're very unstoppable. It's kind of like a snowball effect, you know, going down the hill, snowball going down the hill or something like that. It just keeps building. But sometimes when they hit like SC Doms, I've only noticed this really with SC Doms because of that low NI, inferior NI. SC Doms, they are very talented and gifted and things like that. But their problem is if something happens to them, like if they hit a roadblock or some sets them back really far, they can have a lot of trouble building that momentum back up. And a lot of times they'll fall off and they just never will recover from it. A lot of that has to do with the low NI. And the way that works is the thing is when a SC Dom, like ESFP or ESTP, when they fall off, they just kind of adapt to wherever they're at. So when they fall off or they end up in a bad situation, instead of trying to get out of that situation and maybe get back up, they can have trouble with that and they can be stuck pretty much. They just kind of learn how to adapt where they at and accept where they at, and they won't think really past it. I think once they develop that NI, they can think past where their current situation is, and they'll be able to get out of it. But it takes a lot of work, and a lot of them won't want to put in that work sometimes, which is kind of sad. Like for example, like those people that we never hear when they talk about people that peak in high school. A lot of times those are extroverted SC Doms. Those are the people that tend to peak in high school or they peak at a certain point and then they fall off and then they can't kind of get back up. That tends to be them. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe think about the popular dude in high school and then after high school they just can't get it together. Um, but yeah, they adapt to wherever they're at. And in a way, like even though extroverted sensing is naturally adaptable, it's kind of a paradox because SC Doms, sometimes they can kind of get stuck in their ways too. But it's different than an SI user. It can kind of look similar, but when they get stuck in their ways, it's more like they just going on autopilot and they're not thinking about what they're doing, and they're not reflecting too much. So it's like they're doing some of the same things and not realizing it. And they have bad habits that they're not really realizing they need to change. Um, it's like they're going on autopilot. The brain is just on autopilot. They're not thinking about what they're doing. They're not filtering it enough. That's where it comes from. Now I'll tell you, like we don't have like my type in ISFPs, we don't really have that problem too much because we got tertiary NI. A lot of times ISFPs and ISTPs, we're better at bouncing back from things than SC DOMs because of that low NI. We're able to actually somewhat ignore our current situation in a way and then think about where we want to be at instead. SC DOMs have a problem with that. They don't know how to, it's really hard for them to do if they don't develop their NI. So if you're an SC Dom watching this, you got to develop your NI for that reason. But yeah, sometimes they could just get adapt to wherever they at and just settle for where they at, and that's it. And they don't really think like, okay, maybe I can do better. Also, too, extroverted SC Doms especially, they can have a problem with they can judge themselves based on their own actions, and then they won't really try to change it. Like they'll say, like an extroverted sensor will say, "I am what I am," no matter what it, even if it's a bad thing, they'll just kind of accept that's how I am. Um, Now that, I mean, that's not a bad thing all the time, but sometimes when things that you could change, then it can be a bad thing. So example of that, I'm trying to think of an unhealthy SE Dom. This is somebody I don't like to use as an example, but I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of think that this is kind of funny, but you know that dude Fleece Johnson, the Booty Warrior? I kind of think he might be an SE Dom because he says, I am what I am. Like, when, he the Booty Warrior, right? He was raping dudes in jail, but it was, it was funny how he was explaining it. I kind of wonder if he might be an SC Dom. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. That's kind of SC Doms. They adapt too much. Like they're real good at adapting, but it's like they overdo it. They'll adapt to being whatever, and that way they can come in many different shapes and sizes. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so adaptable. Like wherever they're at, they adapt. Like you might have a SC Dom that's like homeless, or you might have an SC Dom that adapted to being a top celebrity in the world. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, until they develop that NI enough, they really will have trouble pulling themselves out of situations. Um, Now, the ISTPs and ISFPs, we tend to know how to bounce back. Like me, I can bounce back from anything. I feel like I've been knocked down many times, and I'm able to bounce back. Same with ISFPs; they tend to be able to um, sustain themselves through through struggles and things like that as well, and they're able to bounce back from anything. Like I feel like every time I've been knocked down, I always end up bouncing back to being even better than I was when I was at where I thought my peak was. That's just because I'm not gonna settle until I bounce back to where my peak is too. That's part of my thing. I'm not gonna just let myself fall off. It's a mindset thing a little bit too. But and I notice in general though, ISTPs and ISFPs, they tend to get better as they age. It seems like. I think we might struggle when we're younger, but as we get older and older, we start to get better and better. Whereas if ESFPs and ESTPs aren't careful, they can peak early. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to take into consideration. So yeah, it's just something to learn about SE Doms. Anyways, thanks for watching.